Hello, friends. Welcome to learnerHUB, where we deliver the knowledge of books to you in a simple and interesting way. Today, we bring you the story of a book that has changed the thinking and lives of millions of people. We are talking about Robert Kiyosaki's best-selling book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This book gives you the opportunity to deeply understand money, financial education, and the mindset of becoming rich. It tells the story of two fathers, one rich dad and the other poor dad. The way both of their thoughts and decisions affect their financial situations is the main message of this book. If you want to improve your financial life, this video will serve as a guide for you. In it, you'll learn how money can work for you, what the difference is between assets and liabilities, why financial education is more important than your school syllabus, and how rich people become rich through their thinking. If you like the video, please like and share it, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel because our goal is to provide you with knowledge that can give your life a new direction. So without further delay, let's begin this wonderful journey and understand what lessons Robert Kiyosaki's great book has taught us. So the thing is, Robert Kiyosaki, the author of this book, had two fathers. One of his fathers was highly educated and a PhD holder, but he remained poor throughout his life and died poor. That's why he called him Poor Dad. His other father wasn't very educated, but he was very rich. So Robert used to call him Rich Dad. Now, you might wonder, how can one person have two fathers at the same time? The answer is that his poor dad, meaning his real father, had only one dream, that Robert should study hard, get a good job in a big company, and secure his future. But Robert's other father, who was rich, was actually his friend, Mike's father. He wanted Robert to take on challenges in life, because not all lessons are learned in school. Some are learned through life experiences. Schooling can help you get good grades, but life teaches you much more. Education has its importance, but you can't achieve everything by relying on it alone. So let's understand exactly what we have to do and how to do it. The first lesson says, rich people don't work for money. Sounds strange, right? But to understand this, let's take a story. There was a man who had a donkey. Whenever he wanted the donkey to work harder, he would hang a carrot in front of it. Seeing the carrot, the donkey would work continuously, hoping to one day reach it. For the man, this was an easy trick to get work done, but the poor donkey never got that carrot. Why? Because it was just out of reach. Many people are exactly like that donkey. They keep working harder and harder, believing they'll one day become rich, but money remains just a dream for them. Running after money this way will never make you rich. Instead of working for money, make money work for you. When we want to become rich, we shouldn't just work to earn money. The way we move toward wealth, our fear and greed take control of us. We start imagining all the beautiful things money can buy, but that same fear and greed trap us in what the rich dad calls the rat race. We work too hard to earn, spend more, and get trapped in this cycle. Most people who want to be rich fall into this trap because their paycheck only barely covers their bills. It becomes a monthly struggle, and even if they change jobs or work harder, they're still working for money, and that's why they never become rich. Face the truth. You're accountable to yourself, not others. Ask yourself, are you working just for security or just for a paycheck, believing you'll one day be rich? If your answer is yes, you'll remain poor. But if your answer is no, your first step is to remove fear from your mind. The fear of not earning enough and the greed that makes you work without thinking. Everyone has fear and desire, that's natural, but don't let them control you. Think before you act. Don't always follow your heart, use your mind too. Ask yourself every morning, are you doing what you really should? Are you using your full potential? Stop thinking like ordinary people who work only for money. Don't blame your boss or your salary. If your salary isn't increasing, don't blame others. When you take responsibility for your problems, you can also solve them. That's the first principle that Rich Dad taught Robert. He made him work in a convenience store without any pay. Robert kept working, and this taught him to focus on learning rather than earning. During that time, new ideas came to his mind. He noticed that the store clerk used to tear comic books in half. The distributor would collect the torn tops for credit and leave new ones. One day, Robert asked the distributor if he could keep the old comics, and the distributor agreed, as long as he didn't sell them. That gave Robert a business idea. He started renting the old comics to other kids for 10 cents per book for 2 hours. He even hired Mike's sister for $1 a week to manage it. In 1 week, they earned $9.50 without working extra hours. That's when he learned the real lesson. Let money work for you, not the other way around. The next lesson says, why should we learn financial literacy? In 1923, at Edgewater Beach Hotel in Chicago, a meeting was held with many of the world's richest businessmen. 25 years later, most of them died poor. Some committed suicide, others lost their sanity. The lesson? People focus so much on earning money that they forget how to keep it. Earning money isn't hard, managing it is. If you master this, no emergency can shake you. Many lottery winners enjoy for a few years, but end up broke again. The answer to how to get rich starts with become financially literate. If you want to build a skyscraper, you need a deep foundation. But if you want a small house, a thin slab will do. Sadly, most people try to build skyscrapers on weak foundations. Poor Dad wanted Robert to study hard, but Rich Dad wanted him to be financially educated. Schools teach you to earn money, not to manage it. Financial literacy means understanding the difference between assets and liabilities. The third lesson says, understand the difference between assets and liabilities and always buy assets. It sounds simple, right? But this one rule makes people rich. Poor and middle-class people often confuse liabilities for assets. Rich people know the difference. Assets make you money. Liabilities take your money away. For example, if you buy a house and rent it out, that rent pays your loan. That's an asset. But if you buy a house to live in, it doesn't earn for you. That's a liability. Rich people follow the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. Middle-class people spend all their money on liabilities, loans, car EMIs, credit cards, bills, and stay trapped. Poor people have no liabilities, but also no assets. Rich people buy assets that generate more money. That's why their money keeps growing. Robert explains that being rich isn't about how much you earn, but how much your money earns for you. And so on, the book continues teaching that your house isn't your biggest asset if it drains your money. Most people stay stuck in the rat race because of fear, greed, and poor financial education. True wealth comes from creating assets, not salaries. Don't just be literate, be financially literate. This is the core message of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I will not say that you should buy any car, because in my view, it is not an asset, that is, a property. Because as soon as you start driving it, it loses 25% of its value. Now, what kind of assets should be bought? Here we give you some examples. A business where your presence is not necessary, which other people run for you. Because if you give more time there, it will not be a business, it will be a job. Second, invest money in real estate. Third, buy stocks and bonds.
So, when you buy an asset, invest money in things you like. because only when you have interest will you be able to focus on it. If you have interest in it, you will be able to understand it better. Robert was interested in real estate and stocks, especially investing in small companies. On the advice of his rich dad, he never left his job. He kept doing the job and, at the same time, kept making his asset column bigger and stronger. Do not let even a single penny you earn go to waste. Make your money your slave, which works for you. If you want to buy luxury, buy it for pleasure. There is nothing wrong. But do not forget that this is the difference in thinking between the rich and the middle class. Where the middle class spends money on luxury as soon as it comes, the rich person buys it at the end. And after understanding this much, now in the next lesson, you will learn about the biggest secret of rich people. So, the fifth lesson says that the rich invent money. After Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone, he patented it. His business grew and became difficult to handle, so he went to Western Union and offered to sell them his patent and small company for $100,000. The then president of Western Union rejected the offer. He found the price too high. And then, after that, a big company, ATT, was born. Robert has been teaching professionally since 1984. One thing he realized after teaching thousands of people was that all those people had potential. In fact, every person has potential that can make us great. Despite this, what stops us is doubting ourselves. After leaving school, we realize that only grades are not enough to move ahead in life. Just as only smart people do not progress, those who are bold also move ahead. It is true that to be a financial genius, knowledge of it is necessary, but courage and boldness are also needed. Most people do not want to take any risk in matters of money. But to become rich, you have to take risks, because it may happen that in the coming years a new Bill Gates is born, or the next Alexander, and others may become bankrupt, because when the old goes, the new comes. So what exists today is the happiest time. In today's times, people are struggling more financially, because their thinking is still old. Then, instead of accepting their mistake, they either blame their boss or new technology. What was once an asset has now become a liability. So you need to stay updated. Robert designed a game called Cash Flow. It teaches people how money works, what the path to becoming rich is, and how to get out of the rat race. All these things were tried to be explained through this game. One day, a woman came to play the game, during which she won a board card, which meant that she had won a board in the game. The woman was very happy, but when she found out that she didn't even understand the idea behind it, she demanded her refund. She got her money back and left. But later, she called and said that she had started to understand the idea of the game. She was able to connect her life with that game. Her anger was justified because she could not understand how money works. We often do the same. We get angry about things that are beyond our understanding and start blaming them for every problem in life. But if we think calmly, that way is completely wrong. It would be better if we try to understand them, then we can win the game of life.
Many people win a lot of money in the cash flow game. Then they do not understand what to do with that money, so they start getting confused. The reason for this is their old thinking, which does not let them move forward. And then later they lose all the money. Some people say that they lost because they did not have the right cards. Many people keep waiting for the right opportunities in life. Some people even get the right opportunity but cannot take advantage of it because they say they did not have money. Now there are also some who got both money and opportunity but still could not achieve anything because actually they did not understand that it was an opportunity. Financial intelligence means how creative you can be with money. If you get an opportunity, what will you do without money? And if you have money but no opportunity, then what will you do in that situation? It all depends on your financial intelligence. Most people know only one solution to this, to work hard and earn a lot of money. But you have to learn how to create opportunities for yourself instead of waiting for them. The most special thing about rich people is that they know money is not the real thing. The real thing is knowing its true meaning. Knowing that what we need, we can create with it. Our mind is our biggest asset. It can make us super rich or super poor, depending on how we use it. If you want to keep up with successful people, you have to learn how to create the desire to increase money within yourself. You need to invest your biggest asset, your mind. You have to become financially intelligent. So let's understand this with an example. In the 1990s, the economic condition of Arizona and Phoenix was bad. People there were advised to save $100 every month. The idea of saving money for bad times is somewhat right, but what is the use of the money that you keep collecting? It is better to invest some of it, which can benefit you later. Anyway, let's talk about the people of Arizona and Phoenix who were facing economic hardship. For investors, this was a great opportunity. People were selling their property at throwaway prices, and many investors bought them immediately. Robert also bought a house worth $75,000 for only $20,000. After that, he gave an ad in an attorney's office. A $75,000 house for only $60,000. Customers rushed to buy it. Robert's phone did not stop ringing because the money he was going to get was from that asset which he took from the customer as a primary note, and it took him only 5 hours to earn that money. The $40,000 he invented was created from his asset column, and without tax, he added that suddenly earned money to his income column. Just a few years later, the house that sold for $60,000 was now worth $110,000. He still had some opportunities, but they were so few that he had to put in a valuable asset and his time, so he moved on. He had to look for new opportunities. Now ask yourself a question. Working hard is also very hard work. Pay 50% tax and save the rest. Now that savings will give you 5% interest, and then you will pay tax on that as well. It would be better if you invest your money and time in your most powerful asset, your mind, and become financially intelligent. This world never stays the same. What is today may not be tomorrow. Sometimes there is a recession, sometimes a boom. With time, technology will get better. Today the market is up, tomorrow it will be down. Especially the stock market changes every day. But what difference does it make to you? If you are financially intelligent, because you will be ready for all situations. You will get countless opportunities in life where you can take advantage of your financial intelligence. You just need to grab those opportunities. Generally, we can see two types of investors. First, those who buy package investments, and this is quite easy and hassle-free work. The second type of investors create investments for themselves. You can call them professionals. Whatever they invest, they make many times more money from it. Now, if you want to become this kind of investor, you especially need to understand these 3 skills.
First, find such opportunities that others cannot find. Remember, your mind can see what others' eyes cannot see. Second, when there is a need for money, the middle class only goes to the bank, but the other type of investors raise capital by increasing money. They do not always need the bank. And third, organize smart people. Intelligent people are those who work together with people smarter than themselves. Therefore, before investing, choose your investment advisor. I know this all seems too much for you, but the rewards are truly wonderful. There is a lot of risk in life, but by learning to handle it, you can become rich. And with this comes the 6th lesson: work to learn, not for money. So, the thing is that once a journalist interviewed Robert. Robert had already read her articles and was very impressed with her writing style. When the interview was over, the journalist told Robert that she wanted to become a famous writer one day, like him. So Robert asked her, what is it that is stopping you from becoming famous? In response, the journalist said her job was not progressing. To this, Robert suggested that the journalist should join a sales class. The journalist said that one of her friends had already offered her that, but she considered it a small job. She forgot that Robert himself had once gone to a sales school. So, the point of this is that if you have a talent through which you want to earn money, your talent alone will not be enough, because until you know how to use that talent, your talent is useless. Until you learn the art of presenting it in front of people, you cannot earn anything. So, there is no shame in learning the art of selling. No salesman should be ashamed of it. The biggest difference between the rich dad and poor dad was that the poor dad always worried about the job being secure, because a safe job was everything to him, while the rich dad always emphasized only learning something new. To become rich, you have to learn a lot. Looking at the other aspect, schools reward us for mastering only one particular thing. See an example of this. When doctors get a master's degree, after that, they do a doctorate in one special field, like pediatrics or something else. It means they have to study a lot on a small subject to gain mastery in that field, and that is their reward. To know many things, whatever little you learn will come as knowledge only when you work for different companies, know different things in the world, and experience how things work. Only then will your knowledge grow. Maybe that is why Rich Dad used to take young Robert and Mike with him when he went to meet his doctor, accountant, lawyer, or any professional. When Robert left his high-paying job to join the Marine Corps, his poor but educated father could not understand why Robert left such a great job. He was extremely disappointed. Robert tried every possible way to explain to him why it was necessary to do so, but he could not digest it. Robert told him that he wanted to learn how to fly in the open sky. He wanted to know how to handle a team of workers, how difficult it is to run a company on your own. Robert wanted to learn all that. After returning from Vietnam, Robert resigned from his job and joined Xerox Corporation. He did not want this job for profit. He was so shy that even the thought of selling something to someone made him sweat. To overcome his weakness, he took sales training from Xerox's sales program. After this, Robert started his own company and sent his first shipment. If he had failed in this, he surely would have gone bankrupt. But he took that risk and remembered his rich dad's teaching that you can take the risk of going bankrupt before the age of 30, because at that age, you still have a chance to recover. Most employers pay their workers just enough so they don't quit, and most workers work hard just enough so they don't get fired. Therefore, they only care about their salary and company benefits. With this thinking, a few years go well, but it does not work for long. So why don't you learn everything you want to learn now before choosing a particular profession for yourself? Because once you choose your profession, you will be bound to it forever. So friends, this summary ends here. Thank you.